If your brain feels like a tangled web of confusion every time you're triggered, this 15-minute protocol is your way out. Most people, when they think about journaling, they think about cute notebooks and daily prompts. But today I'm going to show you a messy clinical journaling strategy that's going to help you release energy from your nervous system and find clarity. For a long time, when I would get triggered, my brain would just short circuit and I would end up in a completely frozen state, not knowing why, not knowing what had triggered me. And I started sitting down with a notebook and just trying to make some sense out of it. I would just sit down with a notebook and I would just write. I would scribble down whatever thoughts came to mind, any words, any ideas, anything that I could think of that was showing up in my brain, I would write it down. And I was very specific about not worrying what other people thought, no grammar, did not try to be perfect, just messy writing, just to get the thoughts out on paper. Those messy thoughts really became valuable to me because they did show me clues to what had triggered me. And this information was really important to my healing journey. I didn't know it at the time, but I was actually practicing a scientifically proven method called the Pennebaker Method. This method was created and studied at the University of Texas in Austin by a professor named James Pennebaker. Research shows that this method doesn't just help you feel better mentally. Participants in the research showed marked physical health improvements. Writing about emotional experiences correlated with better immune response, better sleep, and lower stress markers. Now, you might think that you can just do this one time and be done, but there's actually a specific number of times that you have to do it to rewire your brain. And I'm going to break that down for you in step 3, so you don't want to miss that part. You can use this method when you have unresolved emotional experience that still affects you. You notice yourself avoiding thinking or talking about something painful, or you've tried regular journaling and you're just kind of going around in circles. You'll want to exercise caution if you either have had a recent severe traumatic event, you're in active PTSD, or you're having suicidal ideation. In those situations, you'd want to practice this while you're working with a therapist. With this first step, you're going to stop the mental loop where you're thinking about everything and solving nothing. When you pick one specific event, you're giving your brain a narrow map to work on, and that really helps reduce your nervous system overload. And you don't have to wait around and get triggered like I did. Here's what you're going to do. Pick a distressing or difficult situation as your topic. If you've got multiple things that you've been thinking about, you can rank them. And you want to pick something that's kind of in the middle. You want to pick something that, your nervous system can handle, you can be productive at, but that's not going to cause a total meltdown. Now, once you have your topic, you're going to start writing in a way that actually feels wrong to you. And if you write in a polite, nice way, it's not going to work. The reason correct writing doesn't work is because you're using your polite brain, your filter brain. So if you think about that, if you're doing that, you're not really getting to your full self and your real feelings. And you want to get into that raw, emotional, open self. And when you get in touch with that raw part of your brain, you're much more likely to figure out why you're stuck. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to set a 15-minute timer and you're going to write about facts, what happened, who was there, emotions, what you felt then and what you feel now, and connections, links to your past, present, future, or to other people and themes. This is really important. If you get stuck, you want to keep your pen moving. You can just, scribble. You can rewrite things that you've already written. You can also just use the phrase, I don't know what to say, and keep rewriting that until more ideas and thoughts and words come into your mind. By keeping your pen moving and not stopping, you're engaging the prefrontal cortex of your brain, and this is where logic transpires. You want to get your thinking away from the amygdala, where fear is happening, and move it towards the prefrontal cortex. And this is aided by moving that pen around, and just keep that pen moving and keep writing. You aren't just venting on paper, you're using a physical task to bring the power of your brain to your logic center rather than your fear center. You might do this exercise once and feel better, and that's great. But if you do that, you're going to be missing the compounding effects. There's a specific reason why you want to do this at least 4 times. If any of this content is resonating with you and you're getting value from it, it would be great if you click that thumbs up button. That really helps to ensure that more people will get to see this. Thanks. Step 3 is the power of repetition. You want to commit to writing about this same topic 4 times in a row. And you could do that in 4 consecutive days, or you could split the days up. That doesn't really matter, but you want to write about the same topic 4 times. So the first time you write, you really are, venting and getting all of that information out on paper. But by the 4th time in writing about the same topic, you're actually starting to rewire your brain and create new neural pathways. And over those 4 times, you're going to watch your situation evolve from being a ball of confusion to a story that you can understand. And after you're done doing a writing session, you want to be careful about just jumping back into your day. And that's where step 4 comes in. Step 4 is post-writing recovery. An emotional hangover can happen if you kind of open up this raw part of yourself and then just go back to running errands. And if you do this step, you're going to leave the session feeling grounded and composed rather than raw and exposed. And your nervous system needs kind of a buffer zone between having this raw, exposed, open time with yourself and then getting yourself back to a feeling of safety. After the 15-minute timer is up and you're done writing, you really just want to give yourself quiet time to just sit and do nothing, just sit and reflect. And that can be for 10 or 15 minutes. So how do you know if this is actually working once you do these 4 sessions? In step 5, I'm going to show you the clues that you can look for in your writing to see that this system is working. I wanted to take a moment and let you know that I have created a mental health resource guide that contains information about all the things that I have done over the past several years to heal myself from my past trauma. And I want to share those things with you. There's a link in the description. If you click it, I'll send that guide to you for free. Step 5 is pattern analysis. The clues that you're looking for aren't necessarily about the story. It's about the type of words that you're using. And this step will also help you get objective proof that you're healing, even on days that you don't feel like it. Research shows that as people process trauma, they use fewer emotion words like sad and angry, and more insight words like because, realize, and understand. After your 4th session, sit down and read through all of your notes and start to look for these shifts in your language. You're looking for a shift from these feeling words to these knowing words or these insight words. If you see more insight words transpiring through those sessions, that means that you're starting to integrate these feelings. If you give this method a try, either the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time you sit down and write, leave me a message, leave me a comment and let me know how it goes. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of the video.